All right, welcome back again. Mike Ventrone, Ventrone Enterprises here. Continuing to go with the trust fund scam over in Chester County. This is my divorce in Montgomery County. For those of you that have ever gone through a divorce or nobody that goes through a divorce, I assure you this is unlike anything you have ever seen. So I try to keep the format the same, right? How we got here, what the previous state was, how it started, right? So MTV, that's me, baby. Filed for divorce in 2016. 2016, we're in 2025 right now. We got one more year. It'll be a full decade since I filed for divorce. We're still in family court, okay? So Bill Weemsey, we know this guy, right? I'll show you at the end here. He repeatedly provides false claim to Montgomery Family Court that he is representing a trust fund, okay? Not once do they ever make him provide any, I don't know, proof, writing, signed that he's representing them, but they just let it pass because, you know, he's a lawyer. We're going to believe the lawyers. Okay. So the skirt, we remember this one, right? She's from Bucks County, but she, you know, is practicing over here in Chester County. Continues to go up to Orphans Court on behalf of Coop, the financial rapist. Again, they're all Fox Rothschild lawyers. What a disgusting law firm. Okay. Claiming that she's representing the trust fund there. Now, this is the trust fund that Andrew Doan, the Hunt family lawyer, registered, but then never created. He just sent the money to Coop, and what could go wrong, right? Sure. So anyhow, through the divorce, I offer alimony and child support. For those unfamiliar, and from what I've heard here in Pennsylvania, alimony doesn't exist anymore, but I offer it. In domestic relations, alimony and child support are enforced. You don't pay it, the cops come after you, the bench warrants come out, everything. That's the only two things, right? Not some cockamamie scheme where I owe a trust fund money. Domestic relations doesn't bother with that. Okay, so they reject it. Now he wants partial reimbursement for the trust loss of $330,000, right? This is the loss on the house that they forced me to sell in family court as part of the divorce because it's a trust fund asset. Again, a trust fund that doesn't exist, right? Okay? So again, he tries to get the one judge, Clifford, a little DEI hire here in Montgomery County, replaced Barrett in a special election after we got rid of him, right? He tries to get a garnishment on my paycheck. Again, domestic relations enforces alimony and child support. Not this bullshit. It was unbelievable, okay? So instead, Clifford orders me to send him checks. I send him the checks, he sends them to Coop. Coop commits over $50,000 worth of check fraud against Ardent Credit Union, the SmithKline Beecham Glaxo Credit Union. Over $50K worth of check fraud against them. Nobody did anything. Unbelievable. Okay? So the next one, here's AWH, that's the ex-wife here, versus her landlord. So she's renting out a townhouse. They've got a 4-bedroom townhouse, way overpriced for her, right? Burning through the money. And she gets evicted from the townhouse with no legal assistance. Again, if you look at the prothonotary listing for 2024 21507, she's representing herself as pro se. Bill Weemsey himself said, pro se is for people that can't afford a lawyer. Yeah, okay, where are you now, pal? And again, he hasn't requested to be released from representing her. The so-called trust fund with the other two triplets have not requested to be released from this. They're just ghosting her. Unbelievable. And then Weemsey would ghost the court on their request for him to show up. Okay, again, the docket highlights, that's with the prothonotary. It's public record. All you gotta do is go to courthouse. You can look at anything you want. If you have the number, I filed for divorce. And in November of 2018, I released my divorce lawyer. Because at that point, I realized they're just trying to inundate me with legal fees, destroy me financially, and make me quit. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 2025, I'm still going, okay? And she's wiped out, all right? Again, multiple judges. Barrett's gone. Bertrand, I took that all the way to the senior judge in domestic relations. And, you know, he goes, well, nope, a trust fund is not part of your divorce. I said, what about future inheritance? Oh, nope, that's not part of your divorce. So anything I may get in the future, she can't touch. What a shitty-ass law firm Fox Rothschild is. Idiots. Okay? Carluccio sends us to Silo. Silo refuses to look at any of the evidence. I got the entire day, and we're out of there in like 45 minutes. Unreal. Okay? Wall sends us to Clifford. Clifford's the one that gets involved directly in over $50K worth of check fraud that nobody did anything about. Carlucci sends us to therapy, which the lawyers then get the ex to weaponize. 5 sessions, and she's weaponizing it, trying to get information on how to win. Okay? And then Cunahan, who claims she doesn't have jurisdiction over a trust fund, awards almost $50,000 in legal fees for them litigating the trust fund in her court that she says she doesn't have jurisdiction over. That's got to be one of the dumbest judges that ever lived. Okay? So what's left? Well, I got one child that emancipated, but he refuses to go to orphans court to get a petition, an audit of his grandparents' money, because he's not going to help me sue his mother. That's some serious gaslighting by Fox Rothschild. Serious. What a disgusting law firm. Okay? All right, so next June, my daughter turns 18, graduates high school, one chance left to go to orphans court, because they sure as hell aren't going to do it themselves. So next steps, next week, my daughter's here 100% now, so we're going to try to switch up the child support, and she can start paying me. All right, interdependencies, everything. Everything is interdependent. All right, in the end state, again, I'm trying to get the $1.2 million that was stolen from us, and then again, see if Rebecca can save the family next year. We'll see. Okay? So, just a reminder as far as everything goes, you know, all of the docket numbers here, pending, archived, everything here, all generated out of the family court divorce. All of it. And Fox Rothschild was paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, claiming they're representing a trust fund, and they have to pay their legal fees for all of this. What a joke. Okay, so again, I'm Michael Ventran, Ventran Enterprises. There's the email, foxrothschilds@outlook.com. Go to the website, please. Look at all the information. All right, donate. Please help us. This isn't free. I got expenses. All right, and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on the website. See what's actually happening here. It's crazy.